From the golden age of cinema emerged men whose faces defined an era and whose charisma transcended the screen. These classic Hollywood actors combined striking features with undeniable presence, creating timeless images of masculine beauty that continue to captivate audiences decades later. Let's count down the 30 most handsome actors from cinema's classic era and explore what made each one so unforgettable. First, Robert Mitchum. With his sleepy eyes and imposing 6 feet 1 inch frame, Robert Mitchum brought a dangerous edge to handsomeness. His heavy-lidded gaze and prominent chest created an air of rugged masculinity that made him perfect for film noir and westerns. Mitchum's appeal lay in his seeming indifference. He appeared effortlessly cool without trying. His casual stance, broad shoulders, and ability to convey both menace and charm made him the embodiment of the mid-century tough guy. Films like Night of the Hunter, 1955, showcased his ability to be both terrifying and magnetically attractive. Second, Tyrone Power. Tyrone Power possessed the kind of perfect symmetrical features that defined classical handsomeness. With dark hair, a cleft chin, and expressive eyes, Power had the swashbuckling good looks that made him a natural for adventure films. His appeal lay in combining aristocratic refinement with physical prowess. He could fence, ride, and perform stunts while maintaining immaculate style. In films like The Mark of Zorro, 1940, his dashing appearance and athletic abilities created an ideal romantic hero. Power's premature death at 44 only enhanced his legendary status as a Hollywood heartthrob frozen in time. 3. William Holden. William Holden's appeal evolved wonderfully with age, beginning as the fresh-faced All-American in films like Golden Boy, 1939, before maturing into the complex, world-weary figure in Sunset Boulevard, 1950. His blonde hair, square jaw, and athletic build made him classically handsome, but it was the intelligence behind his eyes that truly distinguished him. Holden conveyed a thinking man's handsomeness, attractive not just for his features, but for the suggestion of depth and experience. His performance in The Bridge on the River Kwai, 1957, showcased this perfect balance of physical appeal and psychological complexity. Tony Curtis. With his remarkably smooth complexion and piercing blue eyes, Tony Curtis possessed a beauty that was almost pretty, rather than conventionally masculine. His dark, curly hair and full lips gave him a youthful, sensual quality that evolved throughout his career. Starting as a teen idol, Curtis proved his versatility in dramatic roles like Sweet Smell of Success, 1957, and comedy in Some Like It Hot, 1959. His appeal lay in the contrast between his almost feminine facial features and his masculine confidence and energy, creating a unique and compelling screen presence. 5. Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck embodied dignified handsomeness. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches with impeccable posture, a resonant voice, and chiseled features, Peck projected integrity alongside physical attractiveness. His thick eyebrows, strong jaw, and thoughtful expression made him the epitome of the honorable leading man. As Atticus Finch, in To Kill a Mockingbird, 1962, Peck's physical stature matched his moral stature, creating a complete package of outward and inward beauty. His handsomeness wasn't flashy but substantial, suggesting character and principle behind the striking appearance. 6. John Garfield. John Garfield brought an urban, working-class sensuality to Hollywood. With his intense eyes, expressive face, and compact physique, Garfield created a new template for male attractiveness, less polished than traditional leading men, but smoldering with authenticity. His appeal lay in his raw energy, and emotional vulnerability, which came through in films like Body and Soul, 1947. Garfield's relatively short career, he died at 39, and his defiance during the Hollywood blacklist era added to his status as a beautiful rebel who refused to conform to studio expectations of how a handsome star should behave. 7th, Errol Flynn. The quintessential swashbuckler, Errol Flynn's athletic physique and devilish smile made him the perfect action hero of his era. With his pencil-thin mustache, gleaming eyes, and perfect hair, Flynn brought a sense of mischief and adventure to his handsomeness. In films like The Adventures of Robin Hood, 1938, his physical prowess matched his charismatic appearance, creating a complete package of romantic appeal. Flynn's off-screen reputation for hedonism and excess only enhanced his on-screen persona as a man who lived life to its fullest, handsome, daring, and unapologetic. Peter O'Toole. With his remarkable blue eyes and lean, aristocratic features, Peter O'Toole brought an almost unearthly beauty to the screen. Standing 6 feet 2 inches with a willowy build, his was not a conventional muscular handsomeness, but something more ethereal and compelling. His breakthrough in Lawrence of Arabia, 1962, showcased his ability to command attention through sheer presence and intensity. O'Toole's beauty evolved interestingly with age, his youthful perfection giving way to a gaunt, haunted attractiveness that maintained its power even as it changed form. His was a poetic kind of handsomeness that suggested both intelligence and passion. 9. Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen defined cool. His rugged features, squinting blue eyes, and casual style made him the antithesis of the polished Hollywood star, and audiences couldn't get enough. McQueen's appeal was in his authenticity. Nothing about his handsomeness seemed manufactured or studio-created. His physicality in films like The Great Escape, 1963, showcased real athletic ability rather than choreographed movement. McQueen's weathered good looks suggested a man who lived a real life outside the frame, making his screen presence all the more magnetic. He was handsome in a way that felt accessible yet aspirational. The coolest guy at the bar, rather than an untouchable idol. Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier broke barriers not just as an actor, but as a leading man whose handsomeness and dignity changed Hollywood forever. With his perfect posture, precise diction, and immaculate style, Poitier possessed both physical beauty and tremendous presence. His expressive eyes and deliberate movements conveyed intelligence alongside attractiveness. In breakthrough films like Lilies of the Field, 1963, Poitier's handsomeness was inseparable from the grace and self-possession he brought to his roles. He showed how attractiveness could be conveyed through dignity and integrity as much as through physical features. El Eftiende Rudolph Valentino. The original Latin lover. Rudolph Valentino brought a new type of male beauty to the screen that changed Hollywood's image of handsomeness forever. With his dark features, slicked-back hair, and smoldering gaze, Valentino introduced an exotic, sensual alternative to the all-American looks that had dominated silent film. His dancing in The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, 1921, showcased a physical grace and control that was both masculine and artistic. Valentino's tragically early death at 31 cemented his legendary status as the beautiful idol whose image would influence generations of leading men to follow. 12th, Montgomery Clift. Before a car accident altered his perfect features, Montgomery Clift possessed one of cinema's most hauntingly beautiful faces. With his soulful eyes, fine bone structure, and sensitive expressions, Clift brought a new psychological depth to male beauty on screen. His handsomeness was inseparable from his emotional vulnerability, most evident in films like A Place in the Sun, 1951. Clift's appeal lay in the tension between his classic good looks and his modern, method-influenced performances. He looked like a Greek statue, but acted with naturalistic complexity, creating a wholly new concept of the handsome leading man. Trinasti Richard Burton. Richard Burton's rugged Welsh handsomeness was amplified by perhaps the most magnificent speaking voice in cinema history. His craggy features, intense eyes, and powerful physicality made him a commanding presence in Shakespearean roles and modern dramas alike. Burton's appeal lay in his combination of raw masculinity and poetic sensibility. He could recite verse with the same conviction he brought to action scenes. His tumultuous relationship with Elizabeth Taylor in films like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf showcased his ability to be simultaneously attractive and frightening, a beautiful force of nature rather than merely a pretty face. 14. Marlon Brando. The young Marlon Brando represented a revolution in male beauty on screen. His perfectly sculpted features, sensual mouth, and muscular physique in films like A Streetcar Named Desire, 1951, brought a raw physicality to cinema that changed everything. Brando's handsomeness was inseparable from his method intensity. His beauty wasn't static, but actively emotional. The way he moved, spoke, and occupied space created a three-dimensional attractiveness that felt dangerously real compared to more polished stars. Even as his looks changed dramatically with age, that magnetic quality remained, proving his appeal went beyond mere physical perfection. 15. James Dean. James Dean's brief career created an indelible image of youthful beauty, frozen in time. With his tousled hair, intense squint, and defiant posture, Dean captured adolescent angst and rebellion in a perfectly handsome package. His beauty had a wounded quality, vulnerable yet defensive, that resonated with audiences in films like Rebel Without a Cause, 1955. Dean's looks combined boyishness with surprising maturity, creating a complex image that continues to influence our concept of youthful attractiveness. His death at 24 ensured he would remain forever young in cultural memory, the beautiful rebel who never had to age. 16. Omar Sharif. Omar Sharif brought exotic, cosmopolitan handsomeness to international audiences. With his dark eyes, distinctive mustache, and elegant bearing, Sharif possessed a sophisticated charm that translated across cultures. His entrance in Lawrence of Arabia, 1962, emerging slowly from the desert heat, remains one of cinema's most memorable introductions of a beautiful face. Sharif's appeal lay in his combination of intensity and gentlemanly restraint. He could convey passion without sacrificing dignity. His background as an Egyptian actor who achieved international stardom added to his mystique as a bridge between Eastern and Western concepts of male beauty. 17. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson represented the pinnacle of the studio system's concept of the perfect leading man. At 6 feet 5 inches with broad shoulders, perfect features, and an easy smile, Hudson seemed almost too good-looking to be real. His appeal lay in combining this imposing physicality with a gentle, sometimes self-deprecating manner, especially evident in his comedies with Doris Day, like Pillow Talk, 1959. Hudson's handsomeness had a manufactured quality, a product of careful studio grooming, but his natural charm made it work. His later revelation as gay and his death from AIDS complications added poignant complexity to his image as the ultimate straight romantic lead. 18. Robert Redford. Robert Redford brought golden, all-American handsomeness to the counterculture era. With his blonde hair, blue eyes, and perfect bone structure, Redford could have been merely a pretty face, but his intelligence and thoughtful performances added substance to his beauty. His partnership with Paul Newman in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969, showcased two different but equally compelling types of male attractiveness. Redford's appeal lay in how his classical good looks contrasted with the often morally complex characters he played. The beautiful face hiding complicated motives. His commitment to independence and environmentalism added depth to his image as more than just a handsome star. 19th. Anthony Perkins. Anthony Perkins brought a nervous, elegant handsomeness to the screen that was both attractive and unsettling. His tall, slender build, expressive eyes, and angular features created a unique presence, not conventionally masculine, but magnetically compelling. Perkins's beauty had a vulnerability that directors exploited, most famously in Psycho, 1960, where his good looks created a disturbing contrast with Norman Bates's actions. His appeal lay in suggesting depths beneath the surface, intelligence, sensitivity, and hints of darkness that made his handsomeness more interesting than mere perfection. Perkins proved that attractiveness could be complex and even uncomfortable rather than simply pleasing. 20. Clark Gable. Clark Gable's rugged handsomeness and famous charm made him the king of Hollywood for decades. His distinctive features, the jug ears, mustache, and dimpled smile, could have been imperfections, but instead became his trademarks. Gable's appeal lay in his masculine confidence and slightly rough-edged quality. He never seemed too polished or perfect. His performance as Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind showcased his ability to be simultaneously gentlemanly and dangerous, a sophisticated rogue whose attractiveness came from knowing exactly who he was. Gable's handsomeness felt earned rather than inherited, making him relatable despite his star status. 21st. Paul Newman. Paul Newman's famous blue eyes were just the beginning of his remarkable handsomeness. With his perfect features, athletic build, and magnetic smile, Newman possessed classic good looks that evolved wonderfully with age. His appeal lay in the intelligence and humor that animated his beauty. Newman never seemed to take his handsomeness too seriously. In films like Cool Hand Luke, 1967, his physical attractiveness complemented his character's rebellious spirit. Newman's long-lasting marriage and philanthropic work added character to his image, suggesting a beautiful man with substance and values beneath the perfect exterior. 22nd. Laurence Olivier. Laurence Olivier's classical features and remarkable versatility made him both a great actor and a genuine screen idol. His perfect profile, resonant voice, and commanding presence brought Shakespearean grandeur to cinema. Olivier's handsomeness was theatrical and dynamic. He could transform himself from the brooding Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights, 1939, to the noble Hamlet while maintaining his essential magnetism. His appeal lay in combining physical beauty with artistic virtuosity. Watching Olivier wasn't just admiring a handsome man, but witnessing a master at work. He proved that true attractiveness involved the animation of beautiful features by intelligence and passion. 23rd. James Stewart. James Stewart's lanky frame, distinctive drawl, and earnest expressions created an unconventional but deeply appealing handsomeness. At 6 feet 3 inches with an awkward grace, Stewart represented accessible attractiveness, the handsome man next door rather than the untouchable idol. His appeal lay in his authenticity and emotional transparency, especially in films like It's a Wonderful Life, 1946. Stewart's handsomeness evolved beautifully with age. his youthful, gangly charm developing into distinguished maturity. His war record as a bomber pilot added real-world heroism to his screen persona, creating a complete package of inner and outer attractiveness. 24th, Gary Cooper. Gary Cooper embodied the strong, silent American ideal. Standing 6 feet 3 inches with perfect posture, chiseled features, and an understated manner, Cooper brought quiet dignity to handsomeness. His appeal lay in his economy of expression. Cooper could convey volumes with minimal movement, making his rare smiles or moments of emotion tremendously powerful. In films like High Noon, 1952, his physical beauty complemented his character's moral strength. Cooper's handsomeness had a timeless quality, equally convincing in westerns, war films, or sophisticated comedies, suggesting a fundamental American masculinity that transcended fashion or trend. 25th, Marcello Mastroianni. Marcello Mastroianni brought Italian style and sophisticated world-weariness to the concept of male beauty. With his hooded eyes, expressive face, and impeccable fashion sense, Mastroianni created a European alternative to Hollywood handsomeness. His appeal lay in his combination of sensuality and intellect, most evident in his collaborations with Federico Fellini like La Dolce Vita, 1960. Mastroianni could be simultaneously seductive and skeptical, creating a complex screen presence that suggested handsomeness was more about attitude than perfect features. He showed how attractiveness could include doubt, failure, and complexity rather than just heroic certainty. 26. Cary Grant. Cary Grant remains the epitome of sophisticated charm and effortless cool, a symbol of refined masculinity that continues to influence modern aesthetics. Known for his impeccable style, Grant blended debonair elegance with a roguish spirit that set him apart from his contemporaries. His crisp-tailored suits, impeccable grooming, and warm smile were as much a part of his persona as his remarkable acting talent. Grant's on-screen performances exuded wit, charm, and a relaxed confidence that made him irresistible. Whether portraying a suave spy or a charming romantic lead, he managed to balance humor with genuine vulnerability. His ability to convey deep emotion without sacrificing his trademark drollness turned every role into a memorable performance. Beyond his visual appeal, Cary Grant's enduring legacy stems from his impeccable sense of timing and his unique ability to connect with audiences. His career, spanning decades and featuring classics like North by Northwest, 1959, and An Affair to Remember, 1957, is a testament to the power of style and grace. Grant's influence transcended film, shaping the modern image of the Hollywood leading man with his magnetic presence and refined persona. His timeless allure, equal parts sophistication, wit, and a hint of mischief, ensured that even decades later, his face remains an indelible benchmark of cinematic handsomeness, a true gentleman whose elegance still captivates and inspires. 27th, Burt Lancaster. Burt Lancaster's on-screen presence was defined by his physicality and rugged intensity, capturing the raw spirit of post-war America. Born into humble beginnings, Lancaster transformed himself into a powerhouse of athleticism and charismatic energy, making him one of Hollywood's most captivating figures. His chiseled features, powerful build, and dynamic expressions conveyed both vulnerability and strength. Lancaster's breakthrough performances in films such as From Here to Eternity, 1953, and Elmer Gantry, 1960, showcased not only his robust physicality, but also his nuanced ability to reveal the inner workings of complex characters. Off-screen, his intense work ethic and unpretentious manner added to the mythos surrounding his persona. Lancaster was unafraid to take on challenging roles that demanded both physical prowess and dramatic depth, creating characters that resonated with authenticity. His striking appearance was complemented by a spirited energy that made his every movement memorable, evoking the passionate energy of a bygone era. Beyond his film career, Lancaster's reputation as a committed humanitarian further enriched his legacy, proving that his influence extended far beyond his physical beauty. His blend of rugged charm and artistic dedication positioned him as a true original among classic leading men. Today, his work continues to inspire new generations, standing as a reminder of a time when the fusion of power, passion, and vulnerability on screen created an unforgettable ideal of male beauty. 28th. Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy epitomized understated yet undeniable charisma, crafting a screen presence that was both natural and deeply human. Known for his rugged, everyman looks and quietly commanding demeanor, Tracy exuded an authenticity that resonated with audiences worldwide. His performances, imbued with honesty, empathy, and a subtle humor, allowed him to portray characters that felt genuine and relatable, from working-class heroes to flawed, introspective men grappling with life's challenges. Tracy's handsomeness was not defined by overt glamour, but by the strength of his character and the warmth of his expression. In films like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, 1967, and Captain's Courageous, 1937, he demonstrated that true beauty comes from within, a combination of resilience, dignity, and an unspoken depth of emotion. His naturalistic acting style and impeccable timing made him one of Hollywood's most respected talents, with every gesture and glance revealing layers of experience. Off-camera, his integrity and professionalism added gravitas to his public persona, reinforcing the idea that genuine charm and attractiveness are a reflection of one's inner values. Spencer Tracy's legacy endures not just for his physical appeal, but for his ability to capture the complexities of the human spirit on film. He remains a timeless symbol of classic American masculinity. 29th. David Niven. David Niven's refined elegance and debonair charm established him as one of Hollywood's quintessential leading men. With his impeccably groomed appearance, dapper suits, and a smile that radiated warmth, Niven combined British sophistication with a playful wit that won the hearts of audiences worldwide. His career, punctuated by memorable roles in films like Separate Tables, 1958, and The Guns of Navarone, 1961, showcased his versatility as an actor capable of both dramatic depth and light-hearted humor. Niven's handsome features, symmetrical and classically chiseled, were complemented by an air of cultivated refinement that suggested both intelligence and a gentle humor. His natural charm and courteous demeanor made him a favorite among co-stars and audiences alike, embodying a type of elegance that was rare and deeply appealing. Off the screen, Niven was known for his wit, intelligence, and the ability to engage in sparkling conversation, attributes that further enhanced his public image as a true gentleman. His portrayals were never mere facades of perfection. They hinted at the complexities and contradictions of a real man behind the charming exterior. David Niven's legacy in cinema is a celebration of a time when style and substance went hand in hand, making him a timeless icon of male beauty, whose refined persona continues to inspire admiration and respect. 30th. William Powell. William Powell's debonair presence and sophisticated allure redefined the standards of handsome leading men during Hollywood's golden era. Best known for his role as the suave gentleman detective Nick Charles in the Thin Man series, Powell effortlessly blended wit, elegance, and a refined charm that captured the imagination of audiences. His angular, well-defined features, graceful posture, and sparkling eyes gave him an aristocratic quality that set him apart from his peers. Powell's performances were marked by a dry, understated humor and an impeccable sense of timing, qualities that made his characters both intriguing and irresistible. On screen, he exuded a cool confidence combined with a gentle warmth, a blend that transformed every line into a memorable moment of cinematic art. Off-screen, Powell's sophisticated persona was equally evident. His personal style, impeccable manners, and intellectual approach to his craft further solidified his reputation as a consummate gentleman. His legacy is one of refinement, wit, and timeless appeal, creating a blueprint for the modern leading man that continues to influence contemporary portrayals of masculinity. William Powell's career stands as a testament to the enduring power of subtlety and charm in defining beauty. His captivating screen presence and enduring style have cemented him as one of the most unforgettable icons of classic Hollywood, forever embodying the ideal of handsome sophistication.